know sometimes when I'm up and I get knocked back down, I gotta search for my feelings just like a pat down. And when I hear you ain't loyal, I don't like that sound. And you done burnt all them bridges, don't you come back round. You know sometimes when I'm up and I get knocked back down, I gotta search.
It's your boy Noto, back in these YouTube streets because your boy won't miss a beat. And in today's video, we're going to discuss why women ignore and reject attractive men. So, we all know that, since you've seen this channel, that women will actively ignore attractive men. But I'm going to go ahead and make a delusion dismissal portion right here and right now, because I don't want to be on here feeding any delusions. The only way for you to know that if women are actively ignoring you or rejecting you because of your looks is that you have to first have proof with women that you are attractive in the first place. You have to have these experiences, you got to have these outcomes and stuff with women. You can't sit there and be like, oh, it's because of this, because of that. You learn that as time goes on with different experiences, especially when you're used to getting a certain type of results, and now you're starting to see things negating that, going against that. That's how you figure it out through experiences. You don't just figure it out by just guessing and all that. So the more experiences you have, then you'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm able to say, okay, they're doing that because of my attraction. They're doing that because of my looks. You see what I mean? You can't just go out of nowhere and be like, oh, I'm self-proclaimed this, and they're intimidated by me and they're doing all this other stuff when you don't have any proof of yourself. You don't have any proof yourself that you're actually able to get women. So that's why you got to go outside and go online and all this other stuff and get all the proof that you can that you are an attractive man. Then as the experiences compound upon each other, then you can start deciphering what it really is. You can't do that saying that, oh, I'm not getting any attention because they're intimidating and all this stuff, but you have no proof to back that up. That is delusional, and I'm not feeding that. But anyway, without further ado, we're going to play some clips and we're going to make interjections as time goes on. So let's get it.
A lot of women, especially very beautiful women, they will act like a handsome dude does not exist, right? They will act like, if they see a handsome dude, they pretty much going to act like that dude do not exist. He's not in front of in front of them.
Women will ignore you, man. Women will ignore you. Now, especially if you're an attractive guy. If you're an attractive guy, they will purposely ignore you.
Some guys, what they do is they act like they do not see you.
You know what I mean? Or they did not just like see them, right? But if it's like a non-attractive dude, they'll kind of like be friendly with a non-attractive dude, right? I know a lot of women come online and say, yeah, if you ugly, don't talk to me. Yeah, if you ugly, don't come approach me. But what I'm also talking about is also women that are attractive, they will friendly talk to a non-attractive dude because they're not intimidated by that non-attractive dude.
And I definitely know what he means by that, because I had women that I knew for a fact had crushes on me due to like different situations and stuff like that, and different environments and how they was react. You know, I know when a chick like me. But anyway, and I've seen them being so like off and standoffish with me all the time, and you know, acting like I'm not there, doing the most but still keeping tabs, though they're staying close enough to not be dismissed, but they're staying far away enough to not really be acknowledged or try to give you, you know, any type of attention or whatever. But I've seen them talking to other guys like, oh, happy-go-lucky, doing the most, and I'm talking about showing all the personality traits and just pretty much just letting their hair back and being all comfortable and shit. So I'm gonna tell you right now, when chicks are intimidated by you, bro, they're not gonna be wanting to let your hair back. It's gonna be for the majority of chicks. Like, when it comes to the average guy, they don't have anything to prove to him. They don't have to press themselves up for that. They don't have to make themselves look any better or none of that stuff like that. They don't feel any pressure from that. But when it's a guy that they like, they find attractive, and they know they can get other women and all that stuff, they feel like they got to be on their P's and Q's. And a lot of times their defense mechanism against that is to just go the other way with it, bro. They would not really want to interact with you. They want to act like any interaction with you was like taboo or something like that. But go and treat these other guys that they know they don't find sexually attractive like, yeah, they cool. They easy to talk to. See what I mean? But you, hell no.
They're not trying to get with that non-attractive dude in most cases, right? right? But they kind of wish that the attractive dude come and approach them, but they'll fold if an attractive dude come and talk to them. The truth is, like a lot of women, pretty women are shy, very shy around a dude that they find very handsome, attractive. That's why you see different memes of like women being like, in the caption or at the top of the video be like, how I act around attractive men, and they kind of like look away. And then it'd be different. It'd be like how I act around non-attractive men, and they smiley, they flirty, like they're easygoing because the pressure and anxiety is not there.
Oh, hey, Nabila.
Hi, how are you? Long time no see. How you've been?
Oh, hey, Nabila. What are you up to?
Hi.
So yeah, very attractive dudes make women shy, anxious, have anxiety.
Like, they will purposely ignore you just to bring your ego from here to here in their eyes, right? Because if you're an attractive guy, they assume that you always get compliments. They assume that you always get told that you're just the best thing in the world, and that people throw roses at your feet and play trumpets when you walk by.
This right here is one of the most common misconceptions right here. They always believe that, that you got a whole bunch of pygmies that, like the lady say, like just coming at you, just groveling at your feet and throwing rose petals and rolling out the red carpet and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to dismiss the fact that you do get privileges as an attractive man. You do, but it doesn't come in absolute abundance as they perceive in their head, nor is the guy that they perceive to be receiving all this, even though they feel like he's capable of getting it, doesn't mean he indulges with the women. But at the end of the day, perception is reality with people, guys. You gotta understand that. If they think it, it might as well be true. It doesn't really matter. There's not much you can do to change their minds, which is why you shouldn't really worry about all this stuff, especially as an attractive man. People gonna think what they think about you, and at the end of the day, like if they get to know you and they just come up with this perception and they just stick to it, it's nothing you can do about it, bro. You gotta live your life, and you already know who you are. That's why you gotta be steadfast in who you are and understanding who you are and knowing that. It's because people will project things onto you, and it gets to the point where even you'll start believing what they're thinking because you're so caught up in everybody else's perception of you. So that's a big thing that can definitely happen, and it's a defense mechanism for women because they don't want to. Actually, it's a tactic so they don't have to be, with the mob mentality with the rest of the chicks. They don't want to have the groupie energy like the rest of them, so they want to stand out and be different by saying, you know what, all the other chicks, they're looking at them and breaking their neck and, being thirsty. I'm going to be the one, the oddball out, and not give this guy any attention, just stand out. I'm not going to be like the rest of these pygmies and all that other stuff. It's a humbling tactic, guys.
Right? So in their mind, they're like, let me lower his confidence, or let me try to test his confidence to see if he's really him. Because like I say, a lot of times dude will act like they really confident, but then when they get put under the fire, under the pressure, you find out that they're not as confident as they made it seem.
This is why I say, guys, confidence without competence is delusional. You have to have these experiences in order to be able to strengthen your mental resolve as an attractive man. You can't just walk around acting like, oh, I'm him and this and all that, and you don't have the experiences of the guy that is him. You see what I'm saying? If you don't have that experience, you're not having these different type of outcomes with women. You don't have the privileges that comes with being an attractive man and having women doing all these crazy things for you, having these crazy experiences that other guys are not having and stuff like that. See, you can't walk around and fake that. And the girl's going to pretty much call your bluff every time if you react like a guy that hasn't been there before. That's why they can test you and be like, oh yeah, he ain't been there before. Because they'll be intimidated by the looks at first, but at the same time, once they get past all that and they start testing you and doing all that, oh, he ain't all this cracked out to be. It's almost like I say, a lion that really can't kill, almost like on Madagascar. He didn't know how to hunt. So I mean, he's terrifying. He can roar and all that, but once you get to know him, it's like what? Like he's not a lion. He's not this. He's not that. So yeah, we can disrespect him. We can play with him. We can manipulate him. You can do all that other stuff, because he doesn't know the power that he holds. He's not fully realized. He hasn't transformed mentally. So you can't just sit there and look the part, but you don't act the part, and you don't hold yourself as a man that has options and has the power to be able to walk into rooms and attract multiple chicks and stuff like that. So that's how chicks be calling a lot of y'all bluffs, because y'all really you don't feel like you belong there. You see what I mean? And for those guys that act like they're confident and they got they got it like that, man, they know damn well they don't have it like that. It's just pure delusion. You see what I'm saying? So you got to have the proof to yourself. You have to have that proof to yourself. And like I said, experiences and different situations will give you that proof to yourself. So that way you'll know for a fact, okay, I am an attractive man because I had these experiences that, this in the memory bank, the cookie jar. You see what I mean? So and on multiple occasions and as you go out frequently, that women react to me in this manner. You have to have that. There's no getting around that. So now you can be able to decipher these other different situations when it comes to women, because it does another side that women want to try to deny the fact that you're an attractive man. They want to humble you, that bring you down. You won't know someone's trying to humble you if you haven't been glorified in the first place. You haven't been admired in the first place. You haven't gotten this treatment yet. That's why I said that in the beginning of the video of the dismissal of the delusions, because I don't want to feed the delusions of guys that haven't even had the good part of the other side, the good side of being an attractive man with women. You got to have that first on multiple occasions. You see what I'm saying? You got to compound a lot of experiences so you can really, really prove it to yourself for sure. You see what I mean? That right there dismisses all the flukes and all that other stuff, because you had so many experiences. So when you walk into a room, okay, women always choose. You can't just walk and get them like choosing one night, but okay, yeah, that's not enough. You see what I'm saying? This has to happen on multiple occasions and compound these experiences. And be like, okay, I know for a fact, I know without a shout of a doubt that I'm an attractive man, because all these different occasions across so many different fronts and all these different situations are not happening out of nowhere. So now that you've dismissed the flukes out of your mind, that any indication or any reason that this could be a fluke in any shape, form, or fashion, now you can walk and be like, okay, I know for a fact now. So now you can navigate, okay, I know what it is now. I'm fully realized. I know that I'm an attractive man. I know that I can get these types of reactions from women when I walk into a room. Now that you're there. Okay. Now that you understand that, let's go into how women will purposely reject attractive men and why they do it.
How women purposely reject attractive men. Number one is you are too handsome. Don't make no sense, do it. You will ask a woman out or something, and a woman will literally say, oh, you're too handsome. Like, she's just blatantly telling you, you're too handsome. Like,
I do not like dating good looking men, because why do you have a 16-pack, huh? It's annoying. Why are you born with perfect eyebrows? Why does your hair slick so well when I got to fight with mad products just to get it to lay like this? Why, huh?
It don't even make sense, do it. She's just purposely rejecting you right there. Next is they will start a conversation to bait you to ask them out. And when you ask them out, they'll tell you no, and then they'll say, but you're handsome though. One girl, I was on the bench press at Planet Fitness. And keep in mind, it's squat pads everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You got open sections, you know what I'm saying, cement machines. She gonna come up and ask for my squat pad. I start a conversation with her, boom. I'm like, man, let me get your number. She like, nah, but you're handsome though. And I ain't say nothing. She said it again, but you're handsome. I said, oh, appreciate it. Walked out. They'll just purposely do that.
I kind of like hate that pity type of you're handsome though, you're attractive though type of vibe they give once you try to have a conversation with them, and they do something that indicates that they're trying to flirt with you in some type of manner or something like this. It's almost like they wanted a free hint of validation from you, because they knew that by coming in your vicinity, it would probably pretty much start some type of, it creates the environment for an interaction to happen. Most likely they're going to put themselves in the vicinity because they want some type of approach to happen. They want some type of dialogue to happen. And as soon as you step they want to, it's almost like a good hint of ego boosting to be like saying, okay, I could, yeah, I could have him if I want to. Sometimes these chicks right here, you never know, she might have had a boyfriend, or something like that. But we already know, like, a lot of these situations with the boyfriends, especially if they're not really sexually attracted to them and all that other stuff, like, she won't, like, she'll be doing a lot of flirtatious stuff with guys that she know that she'll find sexually attractive. But I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. They definitely do that for like an ego boost and stuff like that. But it really gets them nowhere. That's the whole thing about this thing. It doesn't get them anywhere. It might give them a small hit of dopamine, but that's it. It's almost like them eating a piece of candy, and they got a bag full of more candy. But okay, they just wrap the bag up and just throw it to the side. Like, you're not finishing the candy, but you got the dopamine hit, but didn't do nothing for them. You see what I mean? Some chicks feed off of that, but a lot of chicks are scared to get into the entire, like, interaction type deal. They'll dismiss it, and sometimes you never know what a chick might be going through. She might not feel like she might be worthy of you. A lot of times in the gym, chicks are trying to get to a certain level, and they've seen things with other chicks and seen interactions with other chicks and what results that other chicks have gotten, and they don't necessarily feel like they're up to par with that. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of chicks, they be like in that whole thing of, I want to get right first before I can talk to a dude like this, because I know that he pulls different types of chicks. And they've probably been on the other side of not getting treated as well as probably their more attractive friends, groups, and stuff like that. This is a real thing, guys. They really be like probably used to the guys going after their friends before them and stuff like that. So a lot of those situations will make them feel like they're not worthy for a guy of your caliber or something like that, that they know can pull different types of chicks, especially if they're observing it in the gym. The chicks, as they look around too, they look at the other chicks too when they're in the gym, of stuff like they want to be like. And if they see that type of chick checking you out, that'll be another dismissal thing for themselves. They'll dismiss themselves out of the equation because they feel like, you can pull this caliber of chick, and I know I want to get to this level, so I can't pull this type of guy, So it's no use in me trying to waste my time, but I'll still give them a little compliment here or something like that. So it's not always like malicious when they do stuff like that too, because it can be multiple reasons, guys. But just understand, don't really think about it too much, man.
Next is they'll like your stories just so you can text them, just for them to not reply. They'll like story after story after story after story, heart story after story after story after story, indicating that they find you attractive, right? Only to never text you back.
Bro, and I tell you, this has happened to me so many freaking times, bro. But the crazy, I'm talking about like putting buku hearts up there, bro. Like buku hearts back to back, back to back, back to back, like going crazy in that, bro, in the interactions, bro. You would think like they your biggest fan, bro. You hit them up, bro, left on scene, bro. But you know what? I noticed a lot of these situations that when they be doing that, they be in situations where they really can't indulge, but they want to watch. And a lot of those watchers usually come around later on when they out of the situation where they feel like they can, deal with you with no consequences. One that I mentioned back then too, some of them might not feel like they're worthy. Some might be in situations where they got a boyfriend and they trying to make sure that everything is completely over with and cut off before they deal with another situation. It could be different things, but they want you to know. See, this is why I told you guys about the tabs women keep, because they always keep tabs. They'll stay far enough away to where they don't have to deal with you all the way, but then they'll keep you engaged by sharing the hearts and stuff like that. So that's how they let you know that they still like you, but they can't deal with you just right now. You know what I'm saying? A rejection now does not mean rejection forever. So they'll keep it in there. They're like, yeah, I still mess with you, but I just can't deal with you right now. You see what I mean? It could be multiple different situations, So don't really try to, put yourself through a whole try to mind messer or something like that. Don't scramble your mind trying to think about this, guys. It could be for multiple situations. We all live in life out here, man. There's so many things going on. She might have a lot of stuff going on, and she might not even want to get involved with you, but she just wants you to know that, yeah, she like what you see, but she just can't deal with you right now. That's what it is. So don't take it to heart, guys. Don't take it to heart.
And last, you just wanna die. You know what I'm saying? I had one chick, she was so beautiful, guys. So beautiful. I was bad, man. Was bad. The chick rejected me because she felt as if all I wanted to do was yeah. And most of the time, guys, Women say you just want to smash because you're attractive and you just seem too good to be true. So they'll purposely reject you.
And that is a crazy thing, guys. And that definitely leads into that perceived notion that just because you look good and they assess your value of having access to all these women and all this other stuff. So they automatically think that, okay, just because you can have that effect on women that would want to look at you in lust and all this other stuff, that you're just indulging in just one night stands and just smashing women right off the bat, even just because you have the ability to, and they perceive you to have the ability to. That's the whole thing. It's a perception. You could be a not even realized fully attractive man yet to know that you have the power to do stuff like that, but just because they're looking at you from across the room, they can already think that, oh yeah, he has that effect on women, especially if they have that first reaction to seeing you. They look at you and like, damn, that was good. And then first they go to them, I know he got chicks that want him. Yeah, I know he hitting. I know he doing something. I know he out here smashing. That's what they automatically thinking. You see what I mean? They automatically project, pretty much saying that you're pretty much a whole like player out here. They act like you out here just being a man, just jumping into everything that just come his way. So the fact that they feel like just you can have access to sex from women so easily, they feel like that's all you're gonna want when you come to them, because their perception of you, because you're an attractive man, they feel like, okay, yeah, you can get that. So they're gonna think that, oh yeah, he's just gonna come after me and try to just get something from me because he feel like he got that privilege and all that. Remember, the guys, this is all just perceived. They don't even know you from a can of paint or none of that stuff. Ain't had one conversation with you yet. All they're just going off of what they see. You know what I mean? After you get to know them and all the other stuff, of course, perceptions can change. But the initial reaction and the initial thought process of that is that, oh yeah, I know he can get chicks. I know he doing that. You know what I mean? Especially if you come up to them talking smooth, you trying to spit some game, like, yeah, he trying to get this. You say he trying to get this, huh? Yeah, I know you trying to get some of this. Easy. And that's when all the challenges start to come up. Sometimes they don't even reject you. They try to put you through some bullshit. So they can try to make it hard for you because of the perception that they feel like it just comes so easy to you. You probably could have been dry for months before you even got had an interaction with her, but she's still gonna try to make it work because she feel like it comes so easily to you. You know what I mean? Like I say, they don't want to have the groupie mentality. They don't want to have the mob mentality. They want to be the oddball sticking out. Like, no, you ain't finna get this easy. You finna work for this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I ain't finna be like the rest of them chicks you be smashing. Like, and they'll even actively tell you, yeah, I ain't like the rest of these girls. Like when they saying stuff like that, oh, I ain't like the rest of these chicks. You ain't finna just get me like this. You gotta take me out. You gotta do. When they start trying to have all these stipulations, because they feel like when they saying stuff like that, they acting like they've been like in these situations with you, and they act like they've actively seen you is hitting chicks on like within the first hour of meeting them and stuff like that. So they automatically trying to put it out there that, oh yeah, you finna work for this, you ain't finna get this easy. But anyway, that's another reason, guys, that women will reject attractive men. And of course, we always talk about the intimidation factor. I can go into that for a little bit. A lot of women are actually intimidated by attractive men. That is a real thing. You definitely are intimidating to a lot of women. A lot of women probably don't even want to deal with you because they feel like it's going to be so much competition, it's going to be so much on them. And on top of that, they feel like I say, they compare themselves to each other so much that they feel like a woman that looks better than them. And trust me, women do be thinking like this. It's like a woman that looks better than them can take you from them, and they feel like you can get these types of chicks. So why is he trying to come at me or stuff like that? So they almost feel like they don't even belong in your presence. A lot of chicks actually be acting like that. So they'll try to ignore and reject you for that reason, because they don't feel like they're worthy to be in your space and all that other stuff. They feel like other women that look better than them can have a better chance with you. So guys, don't take it too much to heart, guys, because we understand they have a lot of thought processes when it comes to attractive men. That's why it intimidates them so much, because they think about it much more deeper than just the outward appearance. They think of the whole situation from a whole. They look at how they're viewed in society. They look at how the outcomes they get from men and all this other stuff. They look at how like they see other women getting pretty privileges and stuff like that they aren't getting. So they take all that into account. They don't just look at, oh, that's why you guys, You're just messing up when it comes to thinking about how a woman's psychology works when it comes to these types of situations because you don't know what they're thinking about. They're thinking about the whole the situation as a whole. They ain't thinking about just, oh, yo, he looks good and oh, I'm just intimidated because he looks good. No, it's not just that simple. They thinking about all this other stuff, like the comparisons between them and the other chicks and all that other stuff. And feel like another woman would deserve you. You know what I'm saying? They'll even introduce you to another woman because of stuff like that. But you know, a lot of them just don't want to get involved because of their insecurities within themselves. And you know, some of them just be like, you know, I just want a guy that views me as the prize, and they feel like you're just going to be such a headache because you have the ability to have these options and stuff. You could just be the guy that be like, you know what, I like what I see, and you know, you could be willing to be 10 toes down for her, loyal to her only and all other stuff, but to her own psychology, you got to understand this, guys. To her psychology, it's not enough because she knows that what's out there. They're constantly comparing themselves to each other. So that's nothing you can do about that. If they see another woman that they feel like looks better than her checking you out, that's enough to make her want to dismiss herself anyway. Y'all can be together. You could be loyal to her all you want to in your relationship. That'll still be a looming insecurity in her head. So that's something you can't do a damn thing about. You see what I'm saying? That's just part of the psychology of why they're dismissing themselves and why they're rejecting you, because they're constantly letting society just nerf them. But anyway, really a form of just self-sabotage. You know what I mean? In order not to really have to deal with the situation at hand and have to address it and all that other stuff. It's too deep for them, and they just rather not swim in those waters. But anyway, it's your boy Noto back in these YouTube streets because your boy won't miss a beat. And remember, guys, anybody can improve themselves if they willing to work at it. I'm out.